Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Now, I've been having fun with some of the marketing and framing of my videos lately, playing around with these moments where people are left speechless, or he went silent, or this Democrat turned into stuttering mess, when asked a very simple question. But when it comes to this new White House press secretary, I mean, it's almost redundant. A stuttering, incoherent mess is basically her baseline. I mean, I feel bad for this new White House press secretary. Jen Psaki was a disaster because she was so utterly dishonest, and the things that she would say, the lengths that she would go to defend the Biden regime were just out of this world. With Karine Jean-Pierre, it's a different situation entirely. She just cannot rise to the occasion. She's not sharp enough, she's not quick enough to think on her feet, and she is just a stuttering mess always. And man, the last couple of days have been a complete disaster for her. Starting off with this viral clip from CNN, where Worst Journalist of the Year 2018, Don Lemon, asks the first real question of his journalistic career, and it totally stumps Karine Jean-Pierre. It's a complete disaster, folks. I have at least 5 or 6, maybe even more clips to show you guys. This White House press secretary is in over her head. Let me show you guys what's going on, but of course, before we get into any of it, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share the video as much as possible, and with that out of the way, let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so first the context. Democrat members, DNC members, have been openly, publicly, on the record, calling for Joe Biden to not seek re-election in 2024. Take a look.
What's your reason for, is that your reason for not thinking he should run again? Or is it just quite simply, as David Axelrod said, at the end of his next term, he'd be closer to 90 than 80? What is the reason?
It's a host of factors. The first being that the approval rating is not where it should be at this point. But also, more importantly, if you look at the polls with regards to the direction of the country, less than a quarter of Americans think that our country is on the right track. With polls like that, people are going to be looking for a change candidate. They're not going to be looking to vote for an incumbent with approval ratings down in the 30s.
And the White House response on this has been relatively swift. Here's White House Karine Jean-Pierre being asked.
Quickly, is the president running for re-election?
The president, as you know, has been asked that question many times, and he has answered it. His answer has been pretty simple, which is, yes, he's running for re-election. I can't say more than that.
She now confirms, yes, that Biden is in fact running for re-election, which is obviously going to be an inevitable disaster. And then Karine Jean-Pierre shows up that same night on CNN, on Don Lemon's show, which I'm surprised still exists, and this happened.
Does the president have the stamina, physically and mentally, do you think, to continue on even after 2024?
Don, you're asking me this question. Oh my gosh, he's the president of the United States. I can't even keep up with it. We just got back from New Mexico. We just got back from California. That is not a question that we should be even asking. Just look at the work that he does. Look how he's delivering for the American public. Look, that article that we're talking about is hearsay. It's salacious. That's not what we care about. We care about how are we going to deliver for the American people? How are we going to make their lives better? That's what the president talks about. That is his focus. And that's where we're going to continue to focus on.
That is not even a question that we should be asking. Just look at the work that he's doing. Not a question we should be asking, says Karine Jean-Pierre, as this president continues to destroy the country and his cognitive decline is clear. I mean, do I really have to play another montage of Joe Biden's failing brain? Is that even a question? Of course I do.
That when they leave the saloon, the receptionist, the salon. They may be going to a saloon, I don't know. I caught part of President Putin's press conference. The president asked me to be in charge of managing that piece, then President Trump. Excuse me, Freudian slip. That was the last president. Anyway, that was President Obama when I was vice president.
I mean, just really quick here.
Where am I? Right here, sir. I'm right here. Okay, here we go. Where am I heading?
That is not a question that we should be even asking.
Yeah, that seems to be a legitimate question. And some more legitimate questions that Karine Jean-Pierre is being asked, which she is being totally dismissive of, are questions related to the crashing Biden economy, crashing markets and inflation. Her responses are a joke.
Inflation has been above 5% for an entire year now. Why did the president wait until almost December to decide who would be leading the Federal Reserve?
The president has taken the economy as a whole and inflation very seriously.
Biden's taking the economy and inflation very seriously, she says, but apparently not seriously enough to be even a little bit, even remotely honest. Take a look at her response when questioned on whether or not the Biden rescue plan added to inflationary pressures.
But we are coming out of the strongest job market in American history, and that matters. And that a lot of that is thanks to the American Rescue Plan, which only Democrats voted for that. Republicans did not, and it led to this economic boom, this historic economic boom that we're seeing with jobs.
Didn't it also lead to historic inflation?
No, that is not. That is not how we're seeing the American Rescue Plan.
Again, a stuttering mess. That is not how we're seeing the American Rescue Plan. So you mean to tell me that you're either blind or deluded? Okay, got it. And the new narrative has spawned. Again, totally incoherent, a stuttering mess on Don Lemon's show.
They also say that last year's stimulus package, which you mentioned, contributed to inflation. Karine, does the Biden administration bear some responsibility for this?
So, first of all, the American Rescue Plan met the moment, and it has put us in a place where we can actually put us in a place where the American people feel we can take on inflation.
He asks her yet again a real question, and she goes on with this incoherent nonsense. The Biden's inflationary American Rescue Plan met the moment. Yeah, I don't think it did. I seem to remember that when Joe Biden took office, inflation was already pretty low. Donald Trump had already started an economic recovery. Markets were doing really well, hitting all-time highs. Economies in America and economies across the world were starting to open up. Major inflation hadn't started yet. Unemployment was already relatively low, I believe around 5% if I'm not mistaken. The jab was already being distributed and was ready to be distributed to millions upon millions of people. And to state that Joe Biden's American Rescue Plan, with a cost of $2 trillion, met the moment is complete BS. It wasn't necessary, and it was a waste of money, and it absolutely added to inflation. But the new talking point is that Joe Biden's rescue plan has put us in a good economic position to start tackling inflation and lead to slow growth.
On how we're going to bring down inflation. And so that's really important. In order to take this on, we got to have be in a good historic economic place, which is where we are.
Well, folks, historically, we're in a good economic place, says Karine Jean-Pierre. I'm going to respond to this with one meme. This. Does this look like a good economic place to be in? What a complete joke. These people truly don't care. The numbers that they keep celebrating are misleading. We covered that in a previous video. All the meanwhile completely ignoring the blood red that people are seeing in the markets. They don't care. Here's Karine Jean-Pierre once again being asked, what's the president's message to anybody who might want to retire, but their 401k is getting wiped?
Okay, so as you say that Americans are well positioned to weather this stock market decline, what is the president's message to somebody who might want to retire, but their 401k is getting wiped out?
So we know that higher prices are having a real effect on people's lives. We get that, and we are incredibly focused on doing everything that we can to make sure that the economy is working for every American people.
Biden's just incredibly focused. That's not an answer. But here we go again with Democrat White House press secretaries, where Jen Psaki's answer to everything was, "We'll circle back." Karine Jean-Pierre's response to literally everything is just this.
Most presidents, I'm guessing, would say they don't pay attention to the polls. But does President Biden feel any concern that his approval rating is really pretty amazingly low and consistently low? I believe today went under the average, went under 40% the first time.
The president's focused on delivering for the American people. That's his focus right now.
Oh, the president's really focused on the American people. A complete and utter disaster. And here's the last clip that I got to show you guys. When I say that Karine Jean-Pierre is in over her head, completely out of her depths, I mean it. Just take a look at this moment when she was asked about the baby formula shortage.
First, what is the latest update the White House has received on the current infant formula situation across the country?
Yeah, let me see if I have anything new for you on that. I think it's been a couple of days since we have been asked that question. Okay. I don't have anything new.
completely stumped, didn't have any new information because the Biden administration isn't doing anything. They're just hoping that these problems are going to fix themselves and just go away with the wind, and that at the end they'll come out unscathed. Not going to happen. This Biden White House is a disaster, like I've said previously, from top to bottom, from side to side, and from back to front, on every single axis. And honestly, Karine Jean-Pierre is kind of like a metaphor for the whole administration. That's what I got for you guys, though. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share it as much as possible. I'm going to get back to work. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.